From 0 for 7 with 6 ground balls to 1 triple shy of the cycle and the most dominant offensive night in postseason history. Welcome back to Coach's Tape by Baseball Authority. This is the story of how Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and the Blue Jays went from being down 0-2 in the series to breaking multiple offensive records in ALCS Game 3. And the secret pregame adjustment that changed everything. The Blue Jays were in serious trouble. Down 2 games in the series after losing both home games, they'd gone 1 for 42 in innings 3 through 9 of the first 2 games. Teams that win Game 3 after being down 0-2 have only come back to win the series 26.4% of the time. But the most alarming sign wasn't the deficit. It was their $500 million franchise player who had completely lost his swing in the first 2 games. Guerrero was 0 for 7 with 6 ground ball outs heading into Game 3. As Blue Jays bench coach Don Mattingly explained, Vlad can hit anybody's fastball. Anybody's. He's a great hitter with power. Not the other way around. But sometimes, like when the crowd is really loud and the moment gets big, you can see his body language. He wants to do so well. He gets out in front a little bit. That's when the poolside grounders happen. The stats told an even uglier story. Baseball's second best hitter against fastballs in the zone all season at 370. Only Aaron Judge was better. Went 0 for 4 against 14 heaters in the zone in games 1 and 2. Here's what was happening mechanically. And this is where things get really fascinating. Guerrero normally has one of the flattest swings in baseball, just a 1-degree attack angle compared to the 10-degree MLB average, which sits right in the middle of Ted Williams' ideal 5 to 15 degree window. But in games 1 and 2, that angle dropped to -6 degrees. He was literally swinging down on the baseball. Moreover, Guerrero's contact points on his outs were 5 inches deeper than his regular season average because the Mariners were getting him out on pitches away. Seattle pitchers had been flooding the strike zone at 57%, well above MLB average of 50.7%, knowing they can induce weak contact from Toronto's high contact hitters. The Mariners had George Kirby starting Game 3, a fastball pumping arm who broke the record for the best strikeout to walk rate through a pitcher's first 4 seasons, a record that had stood for 148 years. Blue Jays hitting coach David Popkins knew Seattle would keep attacking the zone. Before Game 3, Popkins and his staff came up with a battle plan. As Popkins put it, "I always like to compare hitting to fighting. And when guys get a little paralyzed in the ring, sometimes the only thing to do is put your head down and start throwing some haymakers." We talked about trying to scare them out of the zone. The team-wide approach: attack early in counts, punish mistakes, and force Seattle pitchers to be more careful. Manager John Schneider told his team before the game, "Let's try to have a few less jabs and a few more uppercuts." But Guerrero needs his own individual adjustment. Here's where it gets mysterious. Popkins confirmed to Sports Illustrated's Tom Verducci that Guerrero made a pregame change, but it wasn't a swing adjustment. As Popkins explained, his swing was the same, just kind of some of the stuff he was exposing to himself before the game, to give him a little bit easier of a time to elevate the ball. I'll keep that private. But yeah, it was a good adjustment that he made, and it worked today. Whatever the adjustment was, whether it was visual drills, bat path work, or something else entirely, it fundamentally changed Guerrero's ability to get the ball in the air. The numbers from Game 3 are absolutely staggering. Guerrero went 4 for 4 with a single, 2 doubles, and a home run. He came within 1 triple of becoming just the 3rd player in MLB postseason history to hit for the cycle. He was stopped at second base by his third base coach in the 8th inning with the game well in hand, laughing as he realized how close he'd come. And through 7 postseason games this year, Guerrero joined Carlos Beltran in 2004 as the only players in MLB history with at least 13 hits, 4 home runs, and 10 RBIs. But this wasn't just a Vladdy show. It was a complete offensive statement by the entire Blue Jays lineup. Toronto recorded 18 hits, a franchise postseason record and most by any team in a playoff game since 2021. They accumulated 37 total bases and smashed 11 balls over 100 miles per hour, breaking the postseason record of 10 set by the 2018 Red Sox and 2020 Dodgers. Andres Gimenez's game-tying 2-run shot in the 3rd, George Springer's 431-foot blast to center in the 4th, his 22nd career postseason homer, and 40th extra base hit, making him just the 6th player ever to reach 40. Guerrero's solo shot in the 5th, Alejandro Kirk's 3-run opposite field bomb in the 6th, and Addison Barger's solo shot in the 9th. The two teams combined for 8 home runs total, tying the MLB postseason record previously set twice, Game 2 of the 2017 World Series between the Astros and Dodgers, and Game 3 of the 2017 NLDS between the Cardinals and the Cubs. All 18 Blue Jays hits came within the first 3 pitches of at-bats. An incredible display of the aggressive early count attack Popkins had designed. Mission accomplished. They scared Seattle out of the zone. For George Kirby, it was a nightmare. After retiring 6 of the first 7 batters, Kirby allowed 8 runs on 8 hits, including 3 home runs in just 4 innings. Those 8 earned runs were the most allowed by a Seattle starter in postseason history, and matched the most by any pitcher in a postseason game since earned runs began being tracked in 1913. Mariners manager Dan Wilson admitted after the game, "This is the team that's going to hurt you if you make mistakes on the plate." The Blue Jays made history as the first team in MLB postseason history to record at least 5 home runs and 5 doubles in a single game. They cut the series deficit 2-1 and completely changed the momentum of the ALCS. Sometimes in October, the difference between going down 0-3 and getting back in a series comes down to the smallest adjustments. Guerrero's mysterious pregame work, whatever it was, reminded us why he's one of the game's most dangerous hitters. Combined with Popkins' aggressive game plan and a lineup full of haymakers, the Blue Jays proved that even when you're backed into a corner, elite teams find a way to punch back. Don't forget to check out our exclusive Baseball Authority gear at baseballauthority.com, built for players and fans who love the details of the game. Smash that like button, subscribe for more in-depth breakdowns, and drop a comment. What do you think Guerrero's secret pregame adjustment was? We'll see you next time on Coach's Tape.